Yo, good morning. Am I live? I don't know. We shall see. Anyway, good morning, freedom lovers, freedom fighters, freedom family, and freedom marchers. Ish Tyrus Bane, aka The Definition, aka Snapzilla Gorilla. Welcome to Freedom's March, where every day we march forward toward freedom. And today, I just want to discuss something real quick in the world of boxing. Um, in particular, I want to talk about a potential fight coming up in February on February 2nd between Devin Haney and Oscar Duerta. Okay, I see somebody's in here and they dropped a like. I appreciate that. So clearly I am live now. I was having a little trouble. But yeah, Devin Haney, Oscar Duerta. Shout out to Blue Blood Sports TV for bringing this to my attention. He did a video about it in the early morning hours today. And, he talked about how, there is a potential fight between Devin Haney and Oscar Duerta coming on February 2nd of this year or next year, 2025, and that's basically around the corner. We're talking about what 2 months from now, right? 2 months is exactly yesterday. So if that fight, no, 3 months, 3 months, my bad, 3 months. Yeah, 3 months in February. So I am excited to see Devin Haney come back. If this is indeed the case. Now, um, as you all know, the last time he fought was April 22nd of this year against Ryan Garcia. Now, Ryan Garcia won on the scorecards. Devin Haney went the distance with a drug sheet known as Ryan Garcia, a drug sheet overweight bum, even though, can't really say anything about Ryan Garcia being overweight because Devin Haney knew he was overweight and still chose to fight him. So that's not really uh, going to be playing as a factor here. But the fact that he cheated using performance enhancing drugs is indeed a factor. Now, I was looking at Blue Blood's video comments, and someone mentioned that Devin Haney was fighting or was going to fight Ryan Garcia's leftovers, which would be Oscar Duerte. Now, here's my problem with that. All right, now Ryan Garcia fought Oscar Duerte, I believe, in November of last year, November or December. No, when was that? Because I was visiting. No, that was in like November, December. So yeah, I was in Ohio when they fought. But anyway, um, yeah, he fought. Oh shoot, the farmers market's going on right now. Damn it. He fought. He fought Oscar Duarte in November or December of last year, and knocked him out with a body shot. Now, seeing as how we know Ryan Garcia is a proven drug cheat, at least for the Devin Haney fight, who's to say? How is this motherfucker parking, bro? Who's to say that? Sorry, I'm a little thrown off. I was not expecting the farmers market to be going on right now, this early. So anyway, um, so yeah, and they're blocking goddamn the roadways to get to where I need to go. But anyway, here's my problem, right? We know that Ryan Garcia is a proven drug cheat, and in all of his career, he's only had uh, two fights that were drug tested, and that was against Devin Haney and Tank Davis. You know, Tank Davis was not about to let Ryan Garcia get away with not being drug tested. And so he insisted on it. And indeed, he also insisted on a rehydration clause and a catch weight. Now, this made it very difficult for Ryan Garcia to take any performance enhancing drugs and make weight. He was not about to miss out on his opportunity to hit that Tank Davis lottery. So he indeed followed strictly the rules that uh, Tank Davis set forth. Now, with Devin Haney gave him a lot more leeway. He had a lot more leeway with Devin Haney. There was no catch weight, there was no rehydration clause. And so Ryan Garcia had a much greater opportunity to use performance enhancing drugs as much as he could before he had to cut weight. And then when he did cut weight, he did not cut weight all the way because he felt like, well, it's quite difficult. These motherfuckers in my spot. Ugh, whatever. They're kids. Take my spot, man. Ryan Garcia found it quite much easier to use the performance enhancing drugs against Devin Haney because there was a lot more opportunity. He didn't have to cut weight as much. He did not have to worry about rehydration, and therefore, performance enhancing drugs would not affect how Ryan Garcia would be able to make weight and all that other stuff. And then on top of that, I feel like he knew Devin Haney would still allow him to fight with a few pounds overweight. So with that being the case, I can't give any credit to Ryan Garcia's wins because he was never drug tested before Tank Davis. He did not take a drug test against Oscar Duerta. He did not take a drug test against any other fighter that he got in the ring with during his entire career. So as far as I'm concerned, this whole notion of, you know, leftovers, well, that's a notion that's silly, and that's a notion that I will not entertain because, again, Ryan Garcia's entire career is in question. And that is because he was only tested 2 times in his entire career. And one of those times, he popped dirty, you know? And I know what the usual talking points are. Oh, well, it was just a billionth of a gram. It was this and that and all that, right? Here's what I have to say to that. The billionth of a gram thing, that was in his urine. That billionth of a gram was the waste product of what his system used. You understand what I'm saying? So look at it this way. Um, let's say you drink, because I'm not going to say water, because water can go in and take more things out with it. I'll use something that actually contains something that your body can absorb and use. So I'll say something like, let's say you eat an orange, right? You eat an orange, it has the juice, it has the fiber, it has the nutrients within, and it weighs a certain amount. The amount you eat has a certain weight, has a certain value. Well, your body is going to use and absorb quite a bit of that orange, and it's going to get rid of the rest of it as waste. So what you saw in Ryan Garcia's urinalysis, that billionth of a gram, is just the waste product, is what your body did not use during the cycle. During the cycle, it used a certain amount, your body absorbed it, used it, right? Used it to bind to, uh, your androgen receptors and whatever the case may be, right? Because that's what it is. It's a SARM, right? Selective androgen receptor modulator. So it attached to your androgen receptors, and it was utilized to maintain the muscle or to build more muscle, and also maintain endurance, build endurance, whatever it was used for. And so what it didn't use is what they found in the urinalysis. You understand? And then I want to also talk about how Derek for More Plates, More Dates talked about this. He talked about what your body would consume versus what it would waste. So depending on the amount that's found in your urine, they can determine how much you used. But here's the problem, because he said what came out as waste basically indicated that what was used was not enough to give any performance enhancement to the user, right? Saying that, oh, it wouldn't be useful in boxing. But here's the problem with that. That metric that he's using is based on research and studies that were performed under clinically controlled conditions. You understand what I'm saying? Strictly controlled conditions, right? And what I mean by that is when they do this research and when they do these studies, they have strict controls to ensure that, you know, uh, the results are not tampered or they're not tainted in any way. You want results that are going to be pure. You want pure results. You want results that cannot be refuted, right? So you place strict controls on this research. Now, the thing that he was talking about was based on a clinical research trial, and when Ryan Garcia used it, it was not under controlled conditions. It was under random ass conditions. It wasn't, it wasn't a research trial. It wasn't any of that. Ryan Garcia used those performance enhancing drugs in real time in the real world with no strict controls, right? With other factors and variables that could mask, right? That could mask the amount that you used, right? He smoked the marijuana. He drank a lot of alcohol. He used the IVs. All these things can affect, right? It can affect the findings. It can affect the amount of drugs that are found in your urine. So saying that, oh, well, a billions of gram only indicates a certain amount that wouldn't be enough to enhance performance. No, 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 no. Because what Ryan Garcia took was not under strict control conditions. It was under Ryan Garcia conditions, which is not controlled, which is random, which is he did things that would aid in masking the results. You understand what I'm saying? Right? Like I said, he took the drugs, the marijuana, which is a masking agent. Uh, the IV, we don't know what was in those IVs. We don't know how many IVs he actually took. We only saw him take an IV one time on camera. We don't know how many other times he took an IV. And on the day of the weigh-in where he had to get tested, right after the weigh-in, he disappeared for 9 hours, during which time he could what? Take an IV. You understand what I'm saying? Not saying he did, but that gives him more than enough time to take an IV, drink a bunch of water, and piss out as much as he could before he took the test. And even after that, they still found a billionth of a gram, or whatever they're saying, in his urine after he did all that. So that tells me that we will never know how much he took because of everything that he did to mask the results, to mask the drugs that were in his system. We will never know exactly how much he took. Only Ryan Garcia would know that. Ryan Garcia and whoever else was party to his bullshit, right? So that's what we do know. So anybody that's saying that Oscar Duerta is Ryan Garcia's leftovers, first of all, Ryan Garcia had a very hard time with Oscar Duerta until he knocked him out, right? And, you know, yeah, he caught him with a good body shot, but listen, let's face it, that was under dubious circumstances. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm very interested to see this fight. I think that it doesn't, even if it is Ryan Garcia's leftovers, what does it matter? Devin Haney is coming off of a devastating loss, which is now a no contest, but he did take a beating during that fight. He took a lot of shots to the head. You know, we don't know what condition he was in or afterward. We don't know if he went to the hospital. We don't know what happened to him all the way. Only certain people know that. So I think it's okay for Devin Haney to come back from a controversial fight like that, where his life was put in danger by Ryan Garcia. I think it's okay for him to come back and take, not a super easy fight, but it's not going to be It's going to be a tough fight, nonetheless, right? Oscar Duarte is a puncher. You know what I'm saying? He'll be smothering Devin Haney and putting the pressure on him. And Oscar Duarte did not take a lot of damage in his fight with Ryan Garcia, not nearly as much as he did as Devin did. So Oscar Duarte, he's pretty dangerous. So don't get it twisted. Oscar Duarte is still dangerous. And remember, Ryan Garcia came in at 143 pounds against Oscar Duarte, except he gave Oscar Duarte a heads up like a week in advance. He said, I'm not going to make the weight. So there's another difference, right? Why could he not get down to 140 against Oscar Duarte? Why did he have to come in at 143? It's because he was taking too many performance enhancing drugs and he could not cut enough weight to meet the weight. Is that why? So these are things that we have to think about. So it doesn't. Okay, so let's say Devin Haney is fighting Ryan Garcia's leftovers. So what? Oscar Duarte was not devastatingly beaten by Ryan Garcia. He caught a good liver shot, and you get a good liver shot, you're gonna take a knee, and that's exactly what Ryan Garcia did when he took his liver shot from uh, uh, Tank Davis, but that wasn't a devastating beating either. So it wasn't nearly as bad as what Devin Haney received, and Devin Haney did not get knocked out. He went the distance, and he won most of the rounds. So the only reason that he did win is that he got dropped 3 times. So listen, it is what it is. Leftovers or not, I think it's a great fight for Devin Haney to come back to, and it'll show a lot. Oscar Duarte is not a bum. He's not a pushover. So he's going to be pretty dangerous. He's going to be pretty dangerous. He's going to give Devin the opportunity to you know, test his resolve and test his mental capacity when he comes back. And I do like that. I saw that Devin Haney in that training footage was training southpaw. So I find that very interesting that he was training southpaw on the pads. So I'm very interested to see how that's going to look if he decides to utilize that. Here's the thing with training southpaw or training in the opposite stance that you're used to. The problem with it's not really a problem. It's something that you should overcome. When you train or fight in the opposite stance, the problem is not your combinations, right? It's not. Yes, you have to get used to throwing certain combinations and throwing the same combinations in a different way than you're used to, and throwing the 1-2. You usually want to when you throw the 1-2, you want to throw the left and right. But the problem is getting your defense down in the opposite stance. The defense is a little different, especially if you're going to fight someone in the same stance. So if you're using southpaw and they're going to be southpaw, your defense, that's what you really need to work on when you fight in the opposite stance. The defense is what's the most important to ensure that you have down. That's going to be the most difficult thing to lock in. Because I've tried it. I mean, I'm ambidextrous. I can fight southpaw and orthodox. And like I said, the biggest problem for me was understanding how to use my defense when I fight southpaw, because I'm naturally right-handed, but I write with my left hand, which is interesting. I write with my left hand, but I do damn near everything else with my right hand. So I think that's why it makes it easier for me to switch. I can switch stances in middle of combo. I can fight both stances for rounds and rounds and rounds at a time. So the biggest thing is to ensure that your defense is on par. Your defense needs to be on point if you're going to fight in the opposite stance. That's what's the most important. So anyway, that's all I got for now. I got to finish my little overtraining. I got to finish my overtraining. Y'all know how I do on a Saturday. And I'm amped up because I won't be going back to work until the Monday after the Monday after Thanksgiving. So yeah, I got a lot of shit I got to get done around the house and a lot of hanging out to do with the kids. But anyway, thank you guys thank you guys for coming through. I appreciate it. Thank you for hitting the like button. Please hit the like button on the way out if you haven't already, or the downvote button. It doesn't matter, either one. So anyway, much love. I appreciate you for commenting. Tolan Stout I appreciate you. Anyway, much love, like, share, subscribe, and we're gonna keep marching forward toward freedom. Peace.